What's going on, family? I am very stoked to get into another request from our good friend Yulita today. She has got us again going down the NF path. Therapy session is up next. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Yeah, I got upstate like a month ago. I was talking to fans and one of them pulled me aside and said we never met, but I swear that you know who I am. I've been through a lot. I don't know how to express it to people. Don't think that I can, but I got that mansion CD on rotation that's real for me, Nate. You do not understand. It's crazy for me. Kids in me up city slitting they wrists on the daily. This music is more than you think. Don't book me for just entertainment. It's entertaining. Hearing these parents, they telling their kids my music is violent. You gotta be kidding me. I guess that's your definition of violence.
Oh, boy. He said that parents were really trying to say that his music is violent. I would love to know the parents. I would love to know the parents. Because, have you listened to anything that he's ever said or talked about? He's like the cleanest. Everything about everything he does like has like a message behind it. Ay. I'm sorry. That just kind of blew my mind especially after growing up in the time frame where Eminem was fighting the battle about his music. And like I said, just like the comparison of him to that's literally night and day. That's literally night and day. But I would argue that both of them tell those parents to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus. I can't. I'm sorry. That just kind of just blew my mind a little bit. The fact that it's almost unbelievable. But like I said, I don't feel like he'd say that unless it really happened. You know what I mean? That's how much he's like, you gotta be kidding me. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to be kidding me. Like, have you listened to anything I've said?
I don't know how to express it to people. Don't think that I can, but I got that mansion CD on rotation that's real for me, Nate. You do not understand. It's crazy for me. Kids in me up city slitting they wrists on the daily. This music is more than you think. Don't book me for just entertainment. It's entertaining. Hearing these parents, they telling their kids my music is violent. You gotta be kidding me. I guess that your definition of violence in mine is something that we look at differently. How do you picture me? Want me to smile? You want me to laugh? You want me to walk in the stage with a smile on my face when I'm mad and put on a mask? For real though. I mean, what you expect from me? I'm trying to do this respectfully. They say that life is a race. I knew my problems would probably catch up eventually. I do my best to be calm. How you gonna write me and tell me you slaughter my family? That's just a glimpse of the stuff that gets said to me. These are the parts of my life they don't never see. Woo! I am aware it's aggressive. I am not here for acceptance. I don't know what you expected, but what you expect when you walk in a therapy session.
Oh boy, that other one with the slaughter your family. I know. Probably for a lot of us, like that just seems so outlandish that anybody would even think to say something like that. Like. And for what, and with the basis of for what, you know what I mean? What was it that NF did that resulted in that individual sending that tweet? You know what I mean? What was the thought process behind why I'm going to send that in the first place? You know what I'm saying? The one thing that I have found very interesting about the internet, and I talked about this before on the channel, about how I try to practice what I preach in terms of like, I mean, obviously I'm on here with my fucking face, right? So, you know, I can use my words and you can see me and I'm putting this out there for you to be able to see and quote me back that this is what you said, yo. You know what I mean? So I try to live by the life of if I wouldn't say it to you, to your face, I'm not going to say it to you on the internet. You know what I mean? But, you know, we could sit here and talk about people all day about keyboard warriors and all that kinds of different stuff where people say a lot of shit on the internet that they feel like they just can because they can. And, you know, that's freedom, right? Whatever, you know, freedom of expression. I believe in it. But at the same time, why do we as people feel the need to put out such negativity about things, especially like I said, when in the terms of artistry, of like what NF does in his music? If you don't like it and you don't think this is something that you appreciate, whether you think it's violent, whether you think it's sending the wrong messaging, whether or not you just think that he has a stupid face and you don't like him, you know, whatever your reasoning is, why put the energy out in the world that way? What's the need for it? Why do you feel the need to contribute to that kind of society that way, to society that way? You know what I mean? I think about like how much vulnerability these artists go through to even just put out their art into the world, and how much they're sharing pieces of themselves this way and the feeling of what that feels like that we're not doing. We as the fans are not doing, but we'll sit there and say all day, this shit is trash or whatever. You know what I mean? We'll sit here and die on some hill like we know music and that we can tell a song was a banger within the first 5 seconds and shit. You know what I mean? But why wouldn't we just put the positivity and love out there? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand why we feel the need to be different on a world like the internet, especially about things like art this way, where why put the negative out there? If you were at an art museum and, you know, the artist was right there and you didn't like their picture that they painted, would you tell them, this shit's trash, fam? I don't fucking get it. You know what I mean? You wouldn't say that to them. Why are you throwing it out in the world that way? I think people are just looking for attention. And if that's what you're looking for, then, you know, there's better ways to get it, I guess.
Here for acceptance, I don't know what you expected, but what you expect when you walk in a therapy session. Therapy session. Therapy session. This girl at the show looked me in the face and told me her life's full of drama. Said her dad is abusive, apparently he likes to beat on her mama. I got so angry inside, I wanted to tell her to give me his number. But what you gonna do with it, right? You gonna hit him up, then they'll start hitting her harder, that's real. These kids, they come to my shows with tears in their eyes. Imagine someone looking at you and saying your music's the reason that they're alive. Sometimes I don't know how to handle it. This type of life isn't glamorous. This ain't an act for the cameras. You see me walk on these stages, but have no idea what I'm dealing with after. And I put it all in the open. This is the way that I cope with all my emotion. I'm taking pictures with thousands of people, but honestly, I feel like nobody knows me. I'm trying to deal with the pressure. I'm trying to deal with the pressure. How you gonna tell me my music does not have a message when I'm looking out at this crowd full of people I know are affected? I got some things in my life I know I should let them go. Let me jot it down. Let me take a mental note. I put it all on this microphone. Think about that for a minute. What is the point of this song? I'm just venting, but what you expect from a therapy session? Therapy session.
In the mix of like all that hate, you just gave like an entire verse about basically kind of really just talking about that aspect of like how you never know what something else means to somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, again, we're sharing something about ourselves out there in the world as this artist does. And you don't ever know how that's going to affect somebody else. You know what I mean? Where, again, I've said this 100 times on my channel. Sometimes the overall point of the message, I don't always care what that was, as long as it made me feel something. Because, and I think a lot of times those artists, they don't care either, as long as it made you feel something. Where, like he said, you don't even know, bro, but this song or this line is what saved my life. And he's over here like, you know, I was over here just trying to sound cool in that moment, or whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never really know what's going to touch somebody else. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of pressure that comes behind that too, because like, when you don't know that you have an effect on other people this way, even if you're not trying to, you feel some sort of a responsibility to that, because those people have basically told you that now. You know what I mean? And like, now there's like a burden that you kind of feel, like he's talking about in this song, where now all of a sudden you almost feel somewhat responsible to keep saving them, or be something for them or continue to be something for them in a way. I feel like there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot to unpack.
What you think about me? That doesn't worry me. I know I handle some things immaturely. I know that I need to grow in maturity. I ain't gonna walk on these stages in front of these people and act like I live my life perfectly. That doesn't work for me. Christian is not the definition of what perfect means. Woo! I ain't the type to be quiet. I ain't gonna sit here in silence if I wouldn't say what I say to your face. And I promise you I wouldn't say it in private. I am not lying. People go off on my page and I'm trying to quit the replying, but this is ridiculous. I'm passionate, man. I really mean what I'm writing. You want me to keep it 100? Okay, I'll keep it 100. I see a whole lot of talking on socials, but honestly, I don't see nothing in public. I kinda love it, yeah. What?
Exactly. Get off your damn phone, and a lot of times your life will be so much better. You know what I mean? Because ain't nobody saying all this kind of mean shit to you to your face. You know what I mean? It's a whole problem with, you know, just the idea of even just like cyberbullying. You know what I mean? If you want to think about like younger generations, and, you know, for someone like myself, I grew up and watched the internet kind of boom, right? You know what I mean? Like, I remember what it was like before everybody had cell phones. I remember what it was like when people had cell phones that didn't have internet on them. And I remember what it was like when people finally had internet on their phone. I remember when I got my first phone, my first personal phone that had YouTube on it. I thought that was the coolest fucking thing in the damn world. Now, if you give anybody under the age of, like, let's say, I don't know, 20 years old, a phone without YouTube on it, they would be like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? They'd be like, how the hell do I watch Squibbity Toilet? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
Why don't you write us some happy raps? That would be awesome. All of your music is moody and dark, nay. Don't get me started. You wanna know what it's like if you met me in person? Listen to my verses. This music is not just for people who sit in the pews and pray at the churches. Nah, I've been rejected. I don't expect everyone to respect it. I don't expect you to get my perspective, but what you expect from a therapy session?
I mean, I think sometimes people, they confuse what I'm doing. I write about life, I write about things that I'm actually dealing with. Something that I'm actually experiencing. This is real for me. Like, this is something that personally helps me as well. I'm not confused about who gave me the gift. God gave me the gift, and he gave me the ability to do this, and he also gave me this as an outlet. And that's what music is for me. When I feel something, whether it's anger, it's a passion about something, a frustration, like, this is where I go. That's the whole NF Real music thing, man. This is real for me. I need this. This is a therapy for me.
I feel like I've said in every NF video that he has always really given us the real, right? And then, like, you know, that entire message at the end of him just talking about, like, how real this really is to him that way. Like I said, I have felt like I have felt that every time I've listened to him talk about anything. You know what I mean? Where there's a lot of them out there, and I'm not going to call them up by names, that try to cop a lot of other people's swag out there, and they try to talk about the same things, but it ain't the same. It ain't the same because it ain't as real. It ain't as real, and you just feel that. You can feel the difference. You can feel the difference, and I feel like that's one thing I have always took away from his music. So the fact that anybody would even, like I said, even some of the things that he talked about in this subject matter, it kind of just blows my mind that you could even say that with a straight face and think that you have a leg to stand on. You know what I mean? But at the same time, there's been plenty of conversations that I have had with plenty of people where I'm like, I don't even understand how you could even stand on that leg, but you will sink in it. So I guess that you will. To each his own then. I want to appreciate you, Lita, for the request. Appreciate you, friend. Be kind to a stranger today. Tell somebody that you love them. And if you have enjoyed the Foxtrot family, there's always room for you.